Hello, dear students. Welcome to our very special lecture series on the scientific writing. I'm Dr. Pervez Ahmad. This is the first part of the scientific writing series, and this lecture series we will trying to teach our students that how they should do the scientific writing, and we will trying to enforce the ideas that how they should learn and why they should learn. So this is the first part of the lecture series, and in this series we will trying in this past part we will trying to answer the questions or the query, that is why learn scientific writing. This will be the first thing that normally the people have in their minds, especially the research students. Whenever you ask them to do the scientific writing, to learn the scientific writing, so they have a question in mind that why learn scientific writing. So in these first lectures, we will trying to teach our students, we will try to tell our students that why learn scientific writing. So let's proceed towards today's lectures. That is, first of all, we will trying to give a specific answer, short answer to our students or our research scholars that why learn scientific writings. So you know that when you are a research student, or you're an MPhil, or you're a PhD scholar, or you're just a beginner, so you are asked to learn the scientific writing. So you say why learn scientific writing. So the first thing is you will have to write a master thesis. When you're a master thesis, you know that sometime in some universities they offer they offer the master by research, or they're asking master by a dual mode. That is, you have to study the courses, and along with that you have to do the research. But some of the universities, particularly in Europe, they're asking just the student to do the master just by writing the thesis. So if you don't have the knowledge, if you don't know how to do the scientific writing, so you will be unable to do to write a good thesis. So that is the first things you learn the scientific writing, because you have to write a master thesis. And along with that, you're a PhD student, so you have to do the same, because along with that you have to write scientific articles. First, if you're a master student, so you should learn the scientific writing, because you have to write a master thesis. And if you are a PhD scholar, you're pursuing your PhD, so be remember again, so you have to learn the scientific writing, because you have to write a scientific articles. And you know that the normal writing process. If you compare that with the scientific writing, so scientific writing is different. Scientific writing is short and precise, and according to that particular thing, that's why you learn the scientific writing in order to give a short and a brief using a brief ideas and the words, so that you can convey it to the people working in the same field. So you should learn the scientific writing, because you will be judged by what you write and what you present. If you don't know about the scientific writing, you just put your ideas on a paper and you show it to the people. So you might have used the words which will be irrelevant to the scientific community. That's why the people will have not have good opinion about you or your skills, because they will judge you by your words. So be careful about your wording, be careful about your writing. So that's why we are telling our students, before you proceed for the writing your article, writing your thesis, so better you master yourself in scientific writing. So for that, you should know about the content, and what type of content you should include in your thesis report or your research articles. You should know about the structure, so how the structure of your master thesis or your research article would be. Or you should also focus on the style of your manuscript, the style of your thesis, or the contents, or whatever you have in your writing procedure. So how do you learn how do you learn the scientific writing? So be remember, writing is learned by writing. That is, you have to do practice, practice, and practice, because practice makes a man perfect. So you have to do a lot of practice. Practice is the only mean where you can learn, or where you can be a master in the writing. So for that, you choose a good role models. I mean, there are a lot of people around you who are good in writing, particularly in scientific writing. So you choose one of them as a good role models, and you should follow. You should follow his documentation. You follow his procedure of writing. You should follow his timetable. You should see. You should wandering around, and you should ask him for help. And that role model can get you develop into a perfect person who can do the scientific writing exactly in the way he can do. So along with that, you should study good examples. You should read a book. You should study scientific articles. You should study some master thesis. So from that, you can take some good example as well. But be remembered, there is also techniques and rules to learn. Every institute and every university and college, they have their own techniques and their rules. So I mean, sometimes you will be bound by that particular rule. So be there for that particular rules. So one important thing is we can split the writing process into stages. That is, you can see it here, it's very interesting. Um, Disappointing sometimes, and sometimes it's time consuming, but at the end you have to come out as strong that you never felt before. So first of all, first thing first, getting in mood. So whenever you do the writing, particularly the scientific writing, so you should be in a good mood. I mean, you know that you're always not in mood of writing. You're not always in mood of doing the research work, or you're not right in mood. To do the work. I mean, writing is not a process. Where a person can say that he is 10% ready every time, because when you are trying to write something, particularly the scientific literatures or the scientific idea, so you should be in a good mood. You should have a peace of mind. Otherwise you won't be able to put your ideas, because a lot of brainstorming is required for writing the scientific literature. So you are not in good mood, so you will be unable to put your ideas on the paper. So getting in mood is very important regarding the scientific writing. So once you are in mood, so you set for writing your ideas. So be remember, a lot of time, a lot of effort is being required to put your ideas into first draw. And for that, you can see it that why we have put the ideas here. We have put the donkeys especially good ideas that an idiot cannot put things into a science. I mean, you want to put the ideas. So for ideas, you should be it's a better mood than the one that you can see here in the picture. And once you're writing your first draft, so be remember it's a slow and steady process. If you can do it slow and steadily, so be remember slow and steady when the race, just like you people have learned about the Heron Tartar story. So your first job may consume a lot of your times. So you have to set around, you have to think about, and you should spend a lot of times in developing and writing the first drop. So once you've written your first drop, then you have to set, and you have to do the most important thing, that is called revisions. You have to do the revisions, plenty of revision. Almost we say that you should do almost 20 times revisions of your own draft, of your own first draft, because this is here you will come up with the mistakes, the grammatical mistake, and maybe some of your ideas mistake, or maybe sometimes you trying to write a particular thing, a particular ideas, but when you share it with the others people, so it exactly not the same which you want to convey to the other people. So during the revision, you should share your ideas with your friends, and you should ask them what actually they are getting it from. If they are getting it exactly the way you thinking about to put it on the paper, so it's okay. You have correctly written your ideas, and you have correctly revised your ideas. But if you have put something on the paper, you ask your friend to read, and if they get something else from that, so then you should properly think for revisions again. So that's why we're saying that revision is very very important. And once you're saying that it's okay, after doing excessive revisions, you should develop a final draft. So you should feel like as strong as never before, and then you should proceed further. uh, so once you develop your final draft, So you are included among the two kind of people, that is scientists and engineers. I mean, you can be called in between among these people. Either you can be called or you can be including among the scientists, or you can be included among the engineer. And be remember, both of these, they are called upon to communicate in many different situations. So the past situations where the scientists and engineers, they are called upon to communicate, that is writing reports, articles, proposals, or web pages. I mean, this is the communication procedures for the scientists and engineers. I mean, they can communicate either via a web pages. They can communicate by sharing the proposal or the research articles or the report that they submit to the journal for the publications. I mean, sometimes the scientists, they communicate via these procedures. I mean, they submit these things to to the web pages or to the research journals, where I mean they share their ideas with their, or with their friends, or with the people working in other part of the world. Or they can gather and conferences where they can deliver the lecture about their ideas, and they can set among the people, among their peers, where they can have a meeting about their ideas, or they can publish, they can post their ideas in the form of poster during the conference series, where that they can communicate their ideas. I mean, these are the two main things. The scientists and engineers, they can communicate through reports, articles, proposal, or web pages, or they can meet in a conference, where they can do the sharings via lectures or meeting, or posters. So this is how the scientists or the engineer, they can meet. So their meetings, the purpose of meeting with scientists and engineers is basically, that they they're trying to present their ideas, or they're trying to deliver a lecture to the audience. So be remember, their audience, sometimes they are being divided into three categories. First, they might be specific technical audience, like research students, or maybe MPhil or PhD scholars, or maybe some of the professor in the field. They might be journal technical audience. It might be research students, but they may exactly not from the field from where you are. But they can have a general understanding of your work. And maybe we can have non-technical audience. Maybe there be people who have the intention for doing the research, but yet they have not entered into the field. So maybe these people, they may not be as interested in your talk, and your lecture, as the general technical audience or specific technical audience. So you should be, if you are good writers, if you are good lecturers, or you're good one and delivering your ideas, so you should care about all your audience, that how to convince and how to keep them focused. So that's all we have for the first part. Thanks for watching, and we hope that you will be here for the second part of the lecture as well, because in the second part of the lecture of scientific writing, we will discuss that how is scientific writing different from other kind of writing, that we will discuss in the coming lecture. So please stay tuned. See you there in the next lectures. Till then, bye bye.